Okay, we'll just grab a couple more. So we'll go up a couple of layers. And we want this one here. I'm pulling in more textures than I need, but it's better to have too many than not enough. Doesn't take up any extra memory in the program. These are all just pointing to the texture. They're not actually physically loading them. So you could throw in your entire texture directory if you wanted to without it really affecting the machine. And again, Mari stores all these textures in each individual project, so you can have different textures for different projects. Okay. And we want, because we want to keep it uniform, we want this texture right here. I'm going to work on a new layer. Let's just pull that down, and I'm going to zoom in on the model just a bit. I'm going to zoom out on the model just a bit. And rotate this texture. Line it up, maybe like that. That bit in there. Just going to bake that down by hitting the Alt key. Now, I painted on the side here, so I'm going to rotate the model around. And I'm going to go over this bit just here. Through there, and I'll come in a bit further than I actually need, because I know, as I said, that a lot of this is hidden behind the stairs, but by putting it in, then I know if I have to adjust anything, it's going to be ready for if I do have to move the stairs at all or make them smaller, or I want to move them around. So I'll go in further than I actually really need to. I may go in just a bit more, I think. Making sure I'm looking at that more or less straight on so that I don't get any texture stretching happening as I'm painting it down. I'm just going to rotate that just a bit. I'll go down through here, maybe in through here, down in through here, and maybe just a bit in there, a bit down there. Okay. I might just throw a little bit through there. Alright, now we'll move over to the opposite side. Again, we're going to get more or less straight on with that edge. zoom the model out just a bit. Rotate the texture just a bit. I'll move it in. Maybe a bit through here. Down through there. Okay, I'm just going to bake that down. Through here like that, and all of that through there like that. That bit in there, maybe that one down there. Let's bake that down. And I want to do something right on this corner here, so I think I'll grab this one. I'll bake that down. Okay. And through here, and I'll grab all of that through there. A bit through here. Okay, maybe this bit just down in here. Okay, we'll bake that down. Just going to zoom out on the model a bit. Okay, we should be okay here. We should have bridged these steps, so that should be fine. I am just going to have a quick look at this edge over here. And that's right there. Zoom in a little bit more. I think on that edge I want to I think I'll run through here. Let's bake that down. And I'm going to just paint that out a little. Now we will throw on a new layer and we'll add our dirt to the top there, so this should be okay. Again, I'll rotate the texture around. Might zoom in just a bit on the model. Okay. We're on a new layer. Break that down by hitting the Alt key. Again, we're only worrying about the black part of this texture. We're not worrying about the white part at this stage. Well, at all, not for this layer anyway. Just going to rotate that around a bit. Maybe a little bit more. Bake it down. And rotate it around a bit. Okay, we'll bake that down. Come back around to this side here. Break it down. Break that down. Might just come in a little bit more. Okay, we'll break that down. Let's change the blend mode on that to a multiply. We'll pull it right back. Okay, let's work on the bottom section, I think. So let's find another interesting texture. Just going to pull in on this a bit so I can get a better look at it. Maybe. I actually think I prefer this one, so we'll just zoom it down a little. Throw on a new layer. I'm going to zoom in on the model. Get ourselves lined up here. Maybe like that, because we're painting on the bottom, so we can angle it forward a bit. I'm just going to zoom down a little bit, rotate you around a bit. Bake that down. Now I don't want that repeating pattern here and here, so I'm just going to paint over that with white, I think. Just like that, so it's not quite so noticeable. And rotate you around a bit, and move you move you in there. I'll bake that down. Now I'll move over to this side. Paint you in. Bake it down by hitting the Alt key. Now I'll rotate the model a bit, angle it a bit forward. I'll rotate the texture a little. Okay. Let's rotate that. Alright, bake that down. Now I'm just going to pull back out a bit and move that out of the way. Again, a multiply, and we'll pull it down, but not quite as much as the top. Let's just quickly save that. And we'll export this and have a look at it in Max. So export flattened, export everything flattened. The Red Stairs folder, we'll just make everything visible, and this one is called Terrace Base Front. And we're just going to call it Terrace Base Front Painted. .tga. We have to tell Mari specifically what format we want to save it in. We can save it as PNG, TIFF, JPEG. We'll stick to Targa. Okay, let's go back into Max. Back into our material editor. Let's swap out that. Terrace Base Front Painted, that's the one there. Okay, and now we've painted that up. Again, I realized that I've got to knock back the watermarks a bit, and they're a bit heavy, so let's just do that quickly. I think that was layered 2. Yep. And we're going to let's try that. Export, overwrite. Back to Max. I'm going to reload our texture. That's better. And it looks like a lot of our the bottom dirt part of the texture here, because of this raised section of the entrance, isn't showing up. So what we'll have to do is we'll move that dirt texture up. We'll repaint it up a little bit. But we have our water marks running down the wall on the inside of the model as well here. On both sides. Easier to see on this side because of the lighting. So yeah. Okay. Let's just save Max file really quickly. Right. Okay, so we have to move our dirt texture up a bit higher on this front terrace section. So okay, let's continue on with where we were, which was creating some dirt texture for the bottom of the front terrace section. So we'll go back into Mari. Let's zoom in a bit on our model here. Now I'm not completely sure where that texture should be placed, so what I'm going to do is we'll do a quick test by just laying down a small part of the dirt texture, and then we'll pop back into Max and check it. But I know it's going to be okay. It's going to be about that high off the ground because that's the height of the front of the terrace. So we're going to be looking at around about here, I think. So what I'll do is I'm going to create a new layer. That way we can remove it if it's not correct easily. And I'm just going to throw down a bit of dirt through here. Like that. Alright, I'm just going to bake that down by hitting the Alt key and move that texture out of the way. We'll throw a multiply on. I'll just pull it back a little bit. We'll export everything flattened again. It's the front painted, so that's fine. We'll just jump back into Max quickly. Wrong button. And reload our texture. Okay, now I can see it's starting to show up here. So what I will do is I want to bring it up a bit more. Not a lot more, but just a bit more. So back into Mari. I'm also going to scale this texture down a bit and zoom in a bit closer on our model. And actually I'll scale the texture back up just a bit. We'll paint through here. I'll bake that down. Rotate it around a bit. We'll move it there like that. Bake that down. We'll move that into there like that. Just going to get rid of that bit of mark there that we have. bake that down. Zoom in a little bit. And I think we'll throw a bit more black just on that corner there. And just to tidy the texture up a bit, I'm going to, actually before I do that, I'll do the other side and then we'll tidy the texture up. But, so I'll just continue around a little bit more. I might just rotate that just a bit. Bake it down, move the texture a touch, paint in that corner just there. And again, we're going to be looking at around about there, so zoom in a bit. And bake that down. Okay, we'll bake that down. Okay. We'll bake that down. I'm just going to throw on a new layer quickly. Change this texture out a bit, rotate it around. All this is hidden underneath of the terrace, but I'm just doing it just a bit of cleanup on it. Just so if we ever have to come back to this project in Mari to redo anything or to touch something up, we're not confused as to what's going on. And this just shows us that this bit underneath is not seen. Bake that down. Move the model around. Make it down. Okay, we'll bake that down. Let's export that, export flattened, export everything. Yes, we're going to overwrite the old file. Okay. We'll go back to Max and we'll reload our texture. Alright, so now we have our dirt layer running just around the base there, which is what we wanted on both sides. Now, I'm thinking maybe a couple more lines just running down the wall here and there, darker, might add a bit more visual interest to the base of the terrace. So I'm just going to save our file quickly. Okay, we'll jump back into Murray, and now let's throw on a new layer and grab an interesting dirt texture here. No, not you. Let's have a look at the model. Just going to quickly jump into Max. All right. Let's have a look at you. So let's zoom in a bit. Scale you up just a bit. I'm working on a new layer. I'm going to paint this in here. Let's just move that out of the way. Bake it down first by holding the Alt key. Move it to one side for a minute. Okay, let's throw on a new layer. And let's look for something a bit different. This one might be good. Let's just move it around. Again, I'm just going to check Max very quickly. Okay, so around the middle. So around here. I'm just going to scale that down a bit. Might rotate it around just a bit so it's running more parallel to the wall. Maybe like that. Okay, I'm just making sure that I'm working on the right layer. Yep, okay. Paint that through there. And that bit through there. Alright, I'm just going to bake that down and move that out of the way for a sec. Now for this one, I think I'll throw an adjustment layer on and do an invert. And we'll pull it back a bit. Something like that. Okay. What else do we have here? No. No. Maybe. No. Just scale that back. This could be interesting. Just to add a bit of dirt here and there. I'll bake that down. I'm going to use that again as well over here. Because it's such a subtle effect, you won't notice it's been repeated. And also just in here. Okay, let's find something a bit more interesting. No. This could work quite well. Let's throw it on a new layer and rotate it around. Okay, let's fix this first. Multiply 0.65.